it's time for the pièce de résistance. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for our fabulous duo, Jensen Ackles, Padalecki.
It's a loud crowd for this early.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I think what it is the elevation. The sound travels farther.
That's not okay.
I keep getting it wrong.
Although walking up that ramp back there, I'm like...
We got it yesterday. We filmed super late on Friday because we're trying to bring you guys a new season. We got it yesterday, and I didn't feel it yesterday. I think I just assumed I was tired because of the travel. And then this morning I was bending down to like take my socks off. It's like, It's the face I make when I breathe in.
Welcome to my life.
Sometimes I get nervous.
Get out of breath brushing my teeth.
I understand why. You got a lot of teeth. You should get rid of some of them. Right?
What?
If you had half the teeth, you wouldn't get as tired brushing. If you had a tooth, if you were brushing your tooth, you wouldn't spend so much energy.
And welcome to jet lag, Jared.
Did y'all all see the Supernatural 2 parody? Those girls, oh jeez, thank y'all. Those girls are ridiculous. And so we got a chance to watch it right before they released it. Cliffy had told us, like, hey, they want to watch you watching it. And I was like, what does that mean? They want to make sure you guys dig it, you're happy.
Is this some weird fetish that we don't know about?
So we're like, cool. Or they want you to watch the show. I was like, of course we want to watch it. Well, they want to watch you watch it. I was like, okay, how do we do that? So you had to download something or something?
I don't know.
So it's Cliff and Jensen and I sitting like in his trailer trying to figure out how to download Skype. Welcome to 2018. Can you see me? Yes. Can you? Okay, I can see you. Hey, Hannah. Hey, hi guys. So what? Okay, we lost you. Can you hear me? Yes. Anyways, we saw it and it was awesome.
And then they instantly recorded wanting to watch us watch it.
Yes, Facebook Live is also confusing. But this was, we had to watch the video while they could see us watching it, so we couldn't Facebook Live it.
I'm still confused. I don't know.
It's all those teeth, man. It's all
confusing.
Any first timers? How's it going so far? Let's go make a joke.
Those aren't going well this morning, so let's steer clear.
I'll make that joke later.
It's an afternoon joke.
All right, before we just jabber, yes.
You guys have both said that because you've worked together for so long that you can kind of predict how each other is going to play scenes when you're reading the script. So I'm wondering for you, Jared, how it's been now that you're filming with Jensen when he's playing Michael and not me. It's been really weird for you.
That was it.
And now repeat the question.
No. By the way, I'm on to you. I am on to you. That was her long-winded way of saying, do we have scenes of Sam and Michael together? I have known you far too long to fall for that. Valid attempt, though. Valiant attempt. Without giving away too much, it is very different, not for just if and when we see Sam and Michael, but for if and when we see Sam and Dean post-Michael. You know, because there's still that little bit of when Sam went to the cage, he kind kind of came back, but he didn't look. So there's that sort of hesitant, like look for signs of maybe all is not what it seems. Other than that, you slide.
I had to try.
Well done.
To be fair, I didn't know how I was going to do it. So
He still
there's
doesn't
no way that he could have, if we were hypothetically having scenes together as those two characters, he wouldn't have known because I didn't even know.
I'll say this: the first time I saw Michael was at Comic-Con. Because was anybody at Comic-Con with us?
Woo!
Yes, they showed the scene, the kind of Michael scene. That was the first time I really seen it. We had filmed for about a week, so.
I still don't know how I'm going to play him.
Just blacks out.
We'll figure it out.
He's got a lot of teeth.
Yes.
God.
The latest prank.
I don't know if we've had enough Alex or Misha on set. So.
Certainly we have. That's the problem. Our pranks are not thought out. They're not pre-planned.
I had a plank.
There's... You were planking this morning.
I had a prank I wanted to do. I don't want to sell out Misha, but Misha has a fancy new car. Stupid idea, huh?
Not bad.
That's a terrible idea.
And it's one you plug in.
Oh.
So when you, and I think he has just enough energy.
So Misha.
Has flowers in it. I think there's kind of just enough energy to get the car to set from where he lives, and then plug it in, and then get back home. So I was really looking forward to unplugging it, but something happened to the main brain of it, so I didn't get a chance to do it yet. So, zippity doo-dah. The witch? God, no.
That's what Uber's for.
Well, in Canada, it's Uber A. Uber A? Apologies. My sincere apologies. I'm Jared.
Dear friend and coworker Tracy, we are both high risk.
Stacy and Tracy.
I like it.
Yes. We are both high risk OBGYN ultrasound techs.
Oh, wow.
And every time you guys grow your family, we think, oh my God, it would be such an honor to scan your babies. We find surprise twins all the time, anywhere from 6 weeks to 20 weeks. And actually, if you really don't want twins, don't go to Tracy because she finds them all the
How
time.
dare you, Tracy?
But our question is basically directed at Jensen. So when people find out
Good,
they have
because
twins,
you'd be nervous.
we get reactions from fear to shock. We've had dads pass out on us. I mean, it's crazy. So how far along were you when you found out you were having twins, and what was your reaction?
So, he and I were actually overseas doing something similar to this, and Danielle had found out on our way back. And so she didn't tell me that. I thought I was going to come back and we were going to go together, but she went ahead and preempted it. And so when we arrived at the international arrivals there at the airport and we came out, JJ came running up to me with a card. This is in the middle of a very crowded airport. And,
Not for a couple weeks also.
and Danielle kind of stayed back, and JJ's like, open it, Daddy, open it. I was like, all right, all right. So I opened it up, and basically the gist of it was that we're having twins. And it was a very, very smart move on my wife's part because we were in a crowded airport. So my reaction was very, very contained. And
So
I think I just looked up and I was like, no shit.
you tried to run back through customs?
Yeah, and then I got tackled, and it was
International incident?
no. So it was I would say just kind of numbness. Like I didn't really know what to think or feel. Or immediately I was like, how did this happen?
And I was there, and I was like, man, I'm so sorry.
But I was like, we didn't do any of like those the fertility things or any of that like crazy stuff. And then immediately I was like, she has 6 sets of twins on her side of the family. It's hereditary. Of course she's gonna have twins. And she had always wanted multiple children. I was always the one going, why? We got one perfect one. Why risk, messing that up? And so it was a heavy negotiation. And I was like, hey, look, one more. And the reason I said one more because I grew up in a family with 3 kids of 5. So it was a family of 5, and we'd always have to wait for the booth at a restaurant. I just wanted to sit at a 4-top. And I told Denise, I was like, look, we have one more kid, it's a 4-top every time we go out. Boom, done. And she's like, okay, one more. Twins.
Where do y'all ultrasound?
We actually are calling, so
Okay.
we're just setting up there.
Okay. I want to get ultrasounded. I don't think I'm pregnant. Is there something we don't know?
Well, obviously we don't do it at the women's clinic, but we do testicles and prostates.
Actually, a very valid thing. Very valid thing. I'm not leaving right there. Jensen, it's your turn. This guy's crazy.
She said doo-doo, I don't...
That's what we're laughing at. That's what
Denver. You get me. All right here. Yes. Hi.
It's all right.
So is he. That's
I was wondering, since the show and you guys have inspired us so much, if there was anything that inspired you growing up?
On the show, or
Like, just like in general, like when you were growing up, was there like a show you watched, like people that you looked up to that you looked like that inspired you?
Yeah, totally. There were a lot. I mean, gosh, there are a lot of things I took inspiration from, whether it was in school or on TV or whatever it was. Obviously, family. I'm still growing up. So I'm also inspired by better mic stands.
There is no mic stand that can test what you do to it. And sustain the abuse.
It's like those birthday candles that
I haven't touched mine, and it's doing just fine.
I have to rest
You
on
hang
mine.
on it like a monkey.
I have to rest. The altitude. I don't have as many teeth as you do. Yeah, I think my family, I think one of the reasons Supernatural inspires others is because of what kind of the story tells about family and friends, and how friends can become family and vice versa. So I think, my dad, my brother, my mother, my sister is here somewhere. There's a quote I read, and I'm going to kind of bastardize it. And the quote was something to the effect of, if somebody hasn't impressed you, you haven't known them long enough, which is to say, give everybody a chance. So I think it's maybe the same thing about motivation. If somebody hasn't motivated you or inspired you, then you haven't been paying attention. It's not their fault because they're not worth it. It's your fault for not really listening. So I kind of gather inspiration from all of us, you included. So.
Thank you.
I also think the landscape is a little bit different now than it was when we were growing up. Because as far as television, movies and stuff, they weren't readily available to us like they are today.
Right.
We didn't have Netflix, we didn't have downloadable streaming content and all that kind of stuff. So, do you want to just hold the mic?
Do you remember waiting by the radio for hours, like for your favorite song? Now you can just look it up.
No. It was
VHS cassette.
you would tape it on a cassette tape. just to get your song, and then you would remember those double cassette things, and then you would transfer it on to, and that's how mixtapes were born.
I'm so sad there are people on the planet that will never have the joy and pain of having to stick your finger
And wind it.
and like
Go buy an old cassette recorder and some cassette tapes and just play. Just it's like it's vintage now.
now it's, I think Jim Jeffries or somebody tells us a joke about being on an airplane and someone's on their Wi-Fi like, oh, it's so slow. And he's like, we're traveling 600 miles an hour through space. And the internet is slow and you're bitching like
Yeah, so it was, as far as like finding those shows or finding that kind of content that inspired us was a little bit more difficult growing up. We kind of had to find it in other ways. But I will say that I found more of mine in movies. Movies like Goonies and things like that. That was, yeah, if you want to get an idea of what it was like when we were growing up, watching Goonies. We were on our bikes all day, every day. Yeah. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. I love you guys.
love you back. And Home Alone, prank away.
My name's Allison, I'm a best friend Melissa, and you're Stacey.
Hi guys. That almost rhymes. Like Stacy and Tracy, Allison and Melissa.
There's an S in there.
Well, going off of what you said about talking about your kids and how you have one perfect one. Well, I only have one perfect one.
See, it's all you need, right?
Right. My husband finally convinced me that's all we need. But my question is, I work just 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Being a working mom is hard as hell. How do you guys do it? I mean,
Well, first, we're not moms.
Second, this isn't work.
No, my husband, helps me out as much as he can too, but we both work and it's so hard to balance. So how do you guys balance your work-home life?
This is going to sound like a joke, but we don't. I mean, it's really difficult. Our wives, luckily, are amazing and really hardworking. Work on a lot. He and I both grew up in Texas with older brother, younger sister. So I wonder how they did it. And I guess, as you know, and as all the other parents in here know, and others that are not parents as well, you just kind of make it happen. You just kind of grind.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and your head hits the pillow and you're like, what happens here? I don't know. Okay, I should sleep. Yeah, so kudos to you and everybody like you. How old's your kiddo?
He is going to be 4 in a couple months, so he's fun right now.
I'm so sorry.
I know. But-
It is.
And he
it's
loves
tough.
you guys too, by the way. He
And
watches
you're just gonna stop at the one, right?
So far.
Yeah,
Hopefully
wow.
nothing crazy happens.
Because 3 is way easier.
Well, also, my 3-year-old has watched, you guys, since I started watching you guys, and he loves you, so.
Awesome.
That's good kid programming.
Right?
We dig deep. I mean, we've been shooting for Nick Jr. for a while.
We're negotiations, right?
They won't hear us.
He doesn't get scared very easily, so he loves you.
PBS Kids, yeah. I don't know if you follow my wife on Instagram, but she posted something recently about the person that helps us, and we're very fortunate to be able to afford help, and it's so we have this wonderful woman named Yuli who comes just on weekdays from 8 to 4 and gives Daniil help. And it's not like Daniil's like, okay, see, I'm going to the spa. Like, she then is like, okay, you take this one, I'll take this one. And that's because we're gone. We're not there. We come home on the weekends, and that's when we step in because, Daniil doesn't have any help on the weekend, so it's just her. So right now, she's juggling 3 by herself. And it's, that's hard. It is tough, but she wouldn't do it if she didn't absolutely adore and love those children. And so it goes a long way. It's amazing what people can do when it's based out of love.
And I think there's something to be said. I kind of say this or think about this constantly. We're very blessed people, Jensen and I, our families, all of us are very blessed. And he and I are very specific. You know, we get to stay at nice hotels, we get to eat at nice restaurants with our kids, and this and that. And I'm comforted knowing that my children, our children, are seeing us work for it, and seeing that it doesn't just magically appear and you get to have a car that works, or a roof over your head, or a new pair of shoes, or whatever, to high school. And weirdly enough, I was in my hotel room this morning watching some channel, and it was about rats and treats. And they can measure the neurons and what's happier or not. And they called them trust fund rats, where they just gave it a treat, and they were not as happy as the rats that had to work for it by climbing up. Literally, so there's a certain sense of like satisfaction by having to sacrifice to get the same thing that the other trust. Not any problem with any trust funders or by any means, but I'm saying like there's a certain joy that we get to experience in the hardships, and that I hope our kids get to witness and try and emulate and be inspired by when they grow up.
Thank you so much.
Let's go about blue plaid right there, yeah. I'm a sucker for plaid.
Hi, I'm new to the fandom.
Well-
I was just wondering, what is your most embarrassing moment on set?
I ripped the pants.
That wasn't embarrassing though, because you instantly were laughing the loudest at yourself. I know one of his, maybe not the most, but certainly one, and that was the blood bowl. So this would have been
Season 6.
It was French Mistake. Yeah. So in French Mistake, Balthazar is mixing this spell, and he's about to send us into an alternate universe. And the bowl of blood was sitting on the back of the couch, and we were standing right next to it, about to jump out the window. And it was kind of sitting there precariously, and we were standing close, and I was looking this way, and Jared was looking this way, and the bowl just started to tip, and it just started to go. And instead of literally just doing this, that's all I had to do. It was just say that. He did this. And I just turned right as the bowl hit, and blood went all over the couch and the floor, and it was like a 20-minute cleanup. And I just looked at him, I'm like, what happened? And he just goes, I always wished I wouldn't react like that. He was genuinely dejected and embarrassed with himself.
I was sort of like, what?
Why wouldn't I have just... And I've known him long enough to say that was uncharacteristic of him. He's generally a little handy when it comes to that kind of stuff, but yeah.
What are you?
I don't know, I'm constantly embarrassed on set. But I'm also the one who I'm always going for a joke too.
Yeah. Season 1, you did smack yourself in the eye with a rifle.
That was embarrassing though, that was just stupid.
Took a little M1 thumb out of your finger.
Yeah, that's just injuring myself. I got the meat of my finger caught in the slide of the gun. Like literally I racked it and it went, which is just, if anybody knows how to handle a gun, it's not something that should happen. But I don't know why, I don't know what I did, because that shouldn't happen. And I've done it a million times. But it was literally and just right there. And right as they go, and action! And I yanked it out of the gun and just went down, and there was just a flap of skin. And so I just held my finger together and then did the scene.
The Lucifer President wastebasket fire with Misha. I couldn't hold my SHIT together. Remember you were supposed to burn something? There was a scene where he puts a book or something in a wastebasket, and the Bible in the wastebasket, and he was being kind of cool Dean, and he grabs it, and he lights a fire, and the fire starts going, and then he's kind of holding the Bible over the fire, but it's really hot, so he's like, well, Sam, we gotta get it. Whatever the line was, I ended up just doing this.
They had
No one could see it but me, but I can kind of see it, like, my hand's on fire.
so I lit it, and the first take, and it didn't really catch. And I mean, it did a little bit, but it wasn't good enough for what we were trying to do. So then the special effects guys come in, they just basically just dunk it in kerosene, and they're like, "Here you go." Thanks, guys. Let me just light this and hold it in my bare hand for 5 minutes. So I was supposed to light it and then sit there and talk while it like slow burned. It did not slow burn. It like combusted in my hand, and so it was like
On camera.
Listen, when we get to where we're going. Oh no.
I couldn't hold it together. I think I was back. Way back here on that. Yes.
Okay. We have our question.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Allie, this is my best friend Lauren, and we've been thinking
Those
about
don't
this.
rhyme.
Nope.
Okay, I'm Allie, this is my best friend Lauren, and we've been thinking about this question for like a long time, so this is for both of you. Do you find it challenging to stay true to your authentic self when you are always in character as someone else?
Great question. Allie and Morgan?
Lauren.
Good question. Yes and no, I guess. It is awkward. I mean, it's still, I feel like I have a very good idea of who Sam is, so when I'm on set and about to go on camera, I kind of have an idea, because I've done my preparation as well. That having been said, I've certainly been influenced by Sam and by Dean, just as I'm sure, in an awkward way, Sam has been influenced by Jared, just because the writers will watch it, will watch the takes, or watch, the dailies, and go like, oh, I see. Like, Jared seems to be really vibing with this part of Sam. That works. Let's do more of that. And Sam's constantly developing and changing, and I like to think Jared is too. So yeah, it's an interesting profession to have to, because I think he and I also, we don't come from a place of, I'm going to pretend to do this as a character. We both try and find the truth in our characters, so you really have to kind of empathize with your character and try to figure out why they would do what they do. So inevitably, invariably, you kind of are affected by that. But I guess me being affected by Sam is still me being my authentic self, because I have been affected by my experiences as Sam.
Yeah, similar. I'd say there's certainly crossovers. I mean, after playing a character for this long, there are similarities, not just physical, but it's. I would say that again, and echoing his sentiments, that I've got a very clear understanding of who Dean is, and that is influenced by who I am as a person, and then I'm also influenced by this character that I've gotten to play. It's an interesting relationship, but something I enjoy and I'm proud of, and I'd love to continue. I think that's it. Isn't that it? Do we have to go now? All right. I've one announcement to make for those who care. Some of you might not. Some of you could care less. There's a shirt that's being auctioned off that I wore, and the money is going to some cause. I don't know. It's a good cause. It helps people helping people. It's a support thing. Fan support. Whatever that means. No, and it is a shirt that is a personal shirt of mine. I've worn it at a convention, and so if anybody's interested, it's a good shirt. I like it. Anyway, if not, then I'll just buy it back, and they can take my money. So, guys, we'll see you all later. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Jim Beaver from the TV show Supernatural, and be sure and check out the content on Wayward Fanboy.